Now, hey, we got another problem here we're going to use with the AC method. This probably isn't the best problem to solve with the AC method, but it's a good example of how things can get kind of tough, right? Because the main problem with the AC method is when you have a really big factor to deal with. The AC method demands that you know what A, B, and C are, and the AC method says you take A times C and write it here. Well, 7 times negative 36, you got a negative times a positive, that is negative 252. And your B, so you multiply to negative 252, and you add up to negative 19. You add up to your B. Generally, it's much easier when you're dealing with a problem where you have such a big factor, a big product, when you're looking for factors. Most people don't know the products of 252. But they can figure out sums that add up to negative 19. So I want to figure out sums that add up to negative 19. You have something that multiplies to a negative, adds up to a negative, so my signs are different. And the larger number, so when you add them together, you keep the sign and add them, the larger number is going to be 19 more as an absolute value. So, for instance, negative 20 plus 1. Well, sadly, that only multiplies to negative 20. We're nowhere big enough on this side, although it adds up to negative 19. So what we're going to do is we're going to slowly work our way up. We're going to go negative 25 plus 6. And I come over here, and I'm already at 150 right there. All right, that's negative 150. We're kind of close to negative 252 now. So we're going to go up, and we're going to go to negative 30 plus 11. And I've gone too big. Negative 30 plus 11, while it adds up to negative 19, multiplies to negative 330. So somewhere in between a negative 25 and a negative 30 is our answer. The trick is you just think about the first two numbers. I'm going to shoot in the middle. Negative 27, and that's going to be plus 8. And I know 7 times 8 is 56, and my last number has to be a 6, and that's a 2, so that's not going to work. So let's try negative 28, and was that going to be 9? And 8 times 9 is 72. That number matches up. So let's go ahead and play with this. That's 72, carry the 7. We got 18. Hey, we got it. That's negative 252. So we know it's negative 28 times 9 and negative 28 plus 9 that gives us our two numbers. And that's the hardest part of the AC method, is figuring out the two factors and the two sums that make the two numbers. But if you play with it in a logical way, you should be able to figure it out. Let's finish this up. Nothing changes over here. We got our 7x squared, and we're going to change this 19x into a negative 28x. We're going to change that into a 9x, like that. And then all we have to do is factor this out. What's called now is factoring by grouping. Hey, what comes out of 7x squared minus 28x? 7x, which gives me x minus 4. This has to turn into x minus 4, so what needs to come out? A 9, which also gives me x minus 4. And we're pretty much done. All we got to do is regroup. This is kind of the transitional form of the distributive property, and we're going to go and we're going to factor them apart rather than putting them together. So my two factors are, someone tell me?
7x plus 9.
7x plus 9, which is this and this, and
X minus 4.
x minus 4, factored and done. I'm going to do a quick check to make sure there's no common factors, and there aren't. We're set.